To survive Canada's brutal winters, wildlife have to be amazingly well adapted. Not all are. So some, like these sandhill cranes, white pelicans, and snow geese, will fly thousands of kilometers to spend the winter in the southern US and Mexico. For wildlife that do stay, they will utilize a variety of adaptations to prepare for and survive the winter months here. Smaller mammals, such as marmots and ground squirrels, will hibernate, during which time they conserve energy by slowing their heart rate and dropping their body temperature. Other mammals, such as bears and skunks, enter a state of torpor, which is not a deep sleep like true hibernation, but one that conserves energy by reducing their metabolism. Many reptiles, like bull snakes, rattlesnakes, and garter snakes, will return to their hibernaculum to shelter underground, where they enter a state known as brumation, which is similar to torpor in that they are not truly hibernating either, just conserving energy through much lower levels of activity. Painted turtles, meanwhile, will spend the winter months fully submerged in the mud beneath ice-covered ponds, where their metabolism decreases by as much as 95%. Buried in the mud, they survive by using a remarkable adaptation that allows them to absorb oxygen from the surrounding water through their skin and cloaca. Yet there are plenty of wildlife that live and survive here, remaining active all year round. For these wildlife, preparing for winter often begins months in advance. During the summer, when food is plentiful, most mammals replenish the fat reserves that they used up last winter. Entering winter in the best condition possible is essential to their survival. So, as autumn approaches, most mammals are already preparing for the long winter ahead. Some, like elk and deer, will frequent lower elevations and woodlands where snow is less deep, while pronghorn will migrate hundreds of kilometers south to open areas with less snow cover. For those unable to forage easily, they must store food, like these beavers that are beginning to build a winter food cache, collecting branches to bring back to their lodge and secure them by burying the ends in the mud at the bottom of the pond. This winter pantry will serve them well. Whenever they need to feed, they'll simply swim out under the ice to access it. As the cold weather approaches, again like most mammals, they will grow thicker, heavier coats that will keep them warm while they are sequestered inside their lodge. Other mammals, such as ungulates, prepare for winter in similar ways, as they too store body fat and grow thicker winter coats. In fact, bison are so well insulated that any snow or ice accumulating on them does not melt. They are true grazers, and even in winter have to rely on dried grasses, often buried deep beneath the snow, spending more energy to access it. While other ungulates may also be grazers, some, like moose, elk, deer, and bighorn, will also supplement their diet by browsing on twigs, dried leaves, and tree bark, which is also a winter staple for porcupines. Rabbits remain active all winter, and like larger mammals, also rely on thick fur and fat reserves to see them through winter. But they must forage for food daily, and when snow covers the ground, they too will resort to feeding on buds and tree bark. On really cold days, they will seek shelter in burrows, or sometimes under building structures. Like the beavers and ungulates, canids, such as wolves, coyotes, and foxes, increase their body fat during the summer months when food is more plentiful. Yet they too will draw upon this for energy when food becomes more scarce. In winter, they change their hunting strategies, covering less territory to hopefully find more readily available food. There are many species of birds that also spend their winter here. Bald eagles, great gray, and great horned owls, sparrows, black-capped chickadees, woodpeckers, magpies, crows, and ravens are among some of the birds that live here year-round. Rough-legged hawks, like snowy owls, move south as winter approaches, when lemmings and voles become harder prey to catch on the Arctic and subarctic tundra. So they'll spend their winters here in southern Canada, where hunting for voles and mice is a little easier. Year-round residents here include red-tailed, ferruginous, and Cooper's hawks, all of which are superbly adapted to Canadian winters. There are also waterfowl, mallards, pintail, and goldeneye. Even Canada geese that once flew south each fall now spend more winters here. So how do birds adapt to the winter cold? Like other wildlife, they too begin to adapt before the cold weather arrives. Many will grow new feathers to help insulate them through the oncoming months of cold, snowy weather. On really cold days and nights, birds will often puff up their plumage to trap warmer pockets of air closer to their bodies. They can also escape the biting winds by sheltering in trees and tree cavities. Some birds, like snowy owls, are so well adapted to the cold that they have feathers on their legs and feet. But for those that don't, there is an adaptation that seems to serve them equally well. Compared to the rest of their body, birds' legs are really quite thin, so the veins and arteries in their legs are located very close together, where heat and cold is readily exchanged between them. Known as the countercurrent heat exchange, blood is cooled as it travels down to their feet, which don't have much in the way of muscle or nerve tissue to freeze, before being warmed up again as it returns to their bodies. Lowering their bodies to cover their feet, or in the case of geese and waterfowl, drawing them up under their wings, provides additional protection for their legs and feet when sitting on the ice. Since food is much scarcer in winter, some birds, like jays and chickadees, store food in caches, and with their remarkable memories, remember where most of them were hidden. Woodpeckers, meanwhile, continue to hunt for insects hidden beneath tree bark. Both ring-necked pheasants and Hungarian partridge were introduced to Western Canada as game birds in the early 1900s. Yet despite being non-native, these birds are doing remarkably well here. Pheasants survive the winter by relying on dense cover, often found in shelter belts that offer both warmth and protection. They feed on grain and seeds and conserve energy during prolonged cold spells. Partridge are hardy birds that are well adapted to harsh prairie winters and survive by huddling together for warmth and protection in groups known as coveys. They also use snow for insulation, burrowing into it to shelter from the extreme cold and biting winds, and feed on seeds and any leftover grain they can find. From frozen ponds to wind-blown grasslands, Canada's winters test every living thing. To meet the challenges, shaped by thousands of years of living in this demanding landscape, wildlife have developed remarkable adaptations. In doing so, they have found not only a way to endure the cold, darkness, and scarcity of the season, but a way to thrive in it, reminding us that even in winter's harshest conditions, nature always seems to find a way.